Former President Donald Trump is once again in the headlines. Our legal analyst Greg ISAACS is here to talk about it. Good to see you.
Lori, it's good to be here.
Here's what's happening. New York's DA is convening a grand jury to decide whether to indict Trump on several charges. Let's go over some of those.
Lori, this grand jury is going to hear two separate investigations. One is from the New York Attorney General, Letitia James. That's basically tax fraud in nature, allegations that the Trump organization inflated properties to get a tax advantage or deflated the value of properties to get an advantage. So interesting. The other investigation comes from Manhattan, and that's Cyrus Vance, and that one's more explosive. It's the allegations involving Michael Cohen, the defrocked ex-Trump lawyer who has pled guilty, actually done some jail time.
And he's been talking.
And he has been talking and writing books for hush money. Remember, he paid Stormy Daniels, the porn star, apparently $130,000 to keep her quiet against the president. So that grand jury is going to hear some very explosive allegations, meeting 3 days a week for the next 6 months.
For a grand jury to be convened, that usually means there's something there, right?
Well, and let's talk about the purpose of a grand jury under the Fifth Amendment. If you're going to be charged criminally, you are entitled to a grand jury. Every state except 2 has a grand jury. 13 people meet in secret. The defendant can't go, or the target. His defense team can't go. So it's just prosecutors, witnesses, and the grand jurors. And here's what's really important, and it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Under Rule 6 of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, these proceedings are absolutely secret and privileged. We shouldn't even know that there's a grand jury that's convened, and we shouldn't even know what they're investigating. So it'll be interesting to see, as President Trump pointed out, whether this is a grand jury to determine a criminal prosecution or a political persecution.
There's always a leak. Letting people know what's going on.
There's always a leak. So really interesting, a sitting president has never been charged with a crime.
This would be historical.
This would be, well, he's not sitting now, but you know, the issue of charging presidents, suing presidents, you know, arose in the 70s. The Supreme Court addressed it in Nixon versus Fitzgerald. They said you cannot sue a sitting president.
Right, so he doesn't have that protection.
Right. Department of Justice says in 2 memorandums, one in 1973, one in 2000, you can't prosecute a sitting president, but no one has ever addressed the issue of what happens after you leave office. And Lori, we talk about protests, we talk about riots, the way this country is and the feelings about Trump, pro and con. If there was a criminal case, it would be a circus within a circus within a circus. Right. So, and it'll be interesting in the timing of this grand jury and the upcoming elections. I think you're going to see a lot of fireworks here.
2024, we'll have to see. All right, Greg, thank you.
Thank you, Lori.
If you have a legal question, send it Greg's way. We'll see if he can clear it up for you. Email AskIsaacs@WATE.com. And remember, we bring Greg on every Wednesday at 5:30. And I'm going in depth with Greg in a special online stream on WATE.com and on our Facebook page. You can check us out Wednesdays at 2 p.m.